of a great friend. 5 traits of a great friend. Turn to somebody next to you and ask them, you want to be friends? Now I have if you can hear me, clap once. I have a question for the back row. Can y'all see me? I see you, but can you see me? You can see me. You're in the middle row. But in the further row, you can see me. Great. Problem solved. Your environment is everything. If you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. It's often the company you keep that is the largest predictor of how successful your life will be going forward. I promise you that. Proverbs 12:26 says, the righteous choose their friends carefully. Why? Because who is in your circle, who is in the orbit of you, who is able to influence you, is one of the biggest decisions you will ever make. And I have been blessed since I was 12 years old to have someone who I can consider like a great friend, like my best friend, Nick Lackey. I think we have a picture of us when we were like juniors in high school. Can we see that? It's like the blurry one. Yeah, that's us. That's how you know it's really old. That's a dog we found. And that's me with the dog, and that's Nick Lackey. His name is also Nick. That's Nick Lackey in the hat, taking a picture, showcasing the moment that we have in finding this dog. So, we named her Kinsey. But we have been friends since 12 years old, and I'll tell you about when we met. We met when we were both invited and selected to play on a travel baseball team called the Pensacola Black Tips, like a shark. And this baseball team was the worst team ever assembled, regardless of sport, ever. In a 2-year span, we probably played over 100 games and perhaps won 6 of them. Horrible. Not many great things came from that baseball team, but one great thing came from that baseball team. Being able to meet Nick Lackey and to have him as a lifelong friend. We played on that terrible baseball team, as I mentioned, for 2 years. We went to high school together and fortunately played on a better baseball team. We had classes together for the first time, and we spent like every day together, whether it be a practice, a class, hanging out, you name it, right? I mean, a lot of y'all, high school, junior high, you have that friend, right? It's like you spend like all the time with them, and that was us. Like 2 peas in a pod. Look at us. 2 peas in a Honda Civic, if you will. And and we can take the picture off the screen. I appreciate it. I don't want them to get too distracted. And from there, we had a brief stint in college together, and then we went our different ways. I went to Virginia and he stayed in Pensacola. He got married when he was young. But distance didn't stop our friendship, right? We continued to keep up, continued to talk, continued to chat because he was a great friend, a best friend of mine. And I actually ended up going from there to here to be a pastor. And he eventually came here to be a pastor too. Not like here, but he actually worked at Woodway campus for a few years. He was a junior high pastor there. So basically the Blair at that campus. And he recently, a couple months ago, actually oh my God. He moved, okay? He moved from Second Baptist Church over to a church in Alabama where he's a youth pastor there, and he's killing it. And Nick and I, seriously, I could not have asked for a better friend. He embodied all of the traits that you would want in a friend, all the traits that we're going to talk about tonight, loyal, kind, wise, all those things. And we went through so many highs and so many lows together. We won championships together on the field. We won awards together. We were in each other's weddings. I think I have a picture of me being the best man, him being the best man at my wedding, of us in the black suits right there. There's a picture of us. And he's next to me, obviously, in the beard, the lighter complexion guy. He's the best man at my wedding. He was awesome. And then I was the best man in his wedding, in the other picture, in the tan suit. I don't know if we have it. If we don't, oh yes, there we are. We were taking a picture and he jumped on me and I dropped him. But we, like, seriously, since we were 12 years old, I'm 27 right now, we have been best friends, and he is like a friend for life. And here's one thing I know. Everybody in this room needs a great friend like Nick. And for a lot of us in this room, for all of us in the room, we have plenty of pals, plenty of buddies, but we all need 1 or 2 great friends. But here's the issue. And here's why I'm talking about this tonight. Not just to brag on how great my best friend is. I'm talking about this tonight because the issue is many of us got classmates, but no close relationships. We have teammates, but nobody that we have a tight bond with. We have people that we see around in social situations, at school, on the field, on the court, but nobody who sees us for who we truly are. is that we got pals, buddies, acquaintances, followers on Instagram and Snapchat, but nobody who we can consider like that's a great friend. That's my ride or die. That's someone who's loyal to me. That's someone who's rocking with me no matter where life takes us. I got someone like that. And here's the issue with that. If you don't have somebody to lean on in this life, you will fall. That's great that you have Jesus in your heart. Awesome. Most important relationship you'll ever have. I'll talk about that later. But man, second to who you will marry is who you choose to be your friends. The biggest determining factor for your success in life will be the people you surround yourself with, the people you call friends, who you lean on when times are tough and when times are great. Your friends. And I just got to keep it 100% with you. Some of y'all lean on people who you shouldn't be leaning on. You got friends who, for all intents and purposes, might as well be foes. I'm going to keep it straight up with you. Which is why today I want to get into 5 traits of great friends. 5 traits that make up a great friend. But before I jump into this, it's from the book of Proverbs, a book of wisdom written by King Solomon. And before you start to look at this list and start to judge people and think like, oh, my friend doesn't do that, my friend doesn't do this, think about it this way. These traits are not just something to be sought for in other people. They're something for you to mimic for yourself. Because before you can find a great friend, you got to be a great friend. So let's get into it. Number 1, first trait of a great friend, write this down, post it on social media, and just keep it for yourself. Number 1 is a great friend does give wise advice. A great friend does give wise advice. Proverbs 27:9. The heartfelt counsel of a friend is as sweet as perfume and incense. Proverbs 27:9. I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm going to get to some of these traits, and some of y'all are going to get hit right in the forehead, because remember, this is not just something you look at in other people. It's something you look in the mirror and say, am I that friend? Guys over here, I think this is important for you, truly. I really do. And I just want you to respect me while I'm on the stage, because I would hate for you to miss it. I would hate for you to not be armed with the info in which you could make better friends, because you're in 6th grade, 7th grade. Who you choose to hang out with right now will dictate where you go in life, I promise you. I love you guys. I care about you. That's why I want you to hear this. Friends give wise advice. What do I mean by that? A friend doesn't give you reckless or dumb insights to follow through with. They don't tell you to go text your ex to see what will happen if you do. Some of y'all. They don't encourage you, maybe on a more serious note. Lock in with me. I know I'm funny, I get it, but just right here, we're here. They get worse. They don't encourage you to steal something from an establishment. They don't pressure you to go to a party, to drink, to smoke. Great friends don't do that. Your pals or acquaintances or teammates, sure, absolutely. Yeah, they'll tell you to go do dumb stuff all the time. You know why? Because they don't care about your ultimate good. They're selfish. You go blow up your life for all they care. They'll tell you to do whatever. It doesn't matter. But a wise friend takes into account what is the best thing for you. And they give you advice accordingly. If someone is in your circle and they're feeding you dumb insight after dumb piece of advice, that's not a friend. That's a fake. That's a foe. That's someone that you don't want in your circle anymore. That's someone who you can't trust. That's someone who obviously, when push comes to shove, is not have your ultimate good in mind. That's number 1. Number 2, let's get into it. Number 2, a great friend doesn't withhold love or loyalty. A great friend doesn't withhold love or loyalty. Proverbs 17:17 says, a friend is always loyal, and a brother is born to help in time of need. A lot of people talk lip service. A lot of people talk game. A lot of people say a lot of stuff. Whatever. I love you this. We throw the love word around so much nowadays. Who knows who really loves who? Oh, girl, I love you. Oh, I love this. I love that dress. I love that. Sure. Right. But a great friend doesn't withhold love or loyalty. What do I mean by that? As teenagers, your relationships are transient. What does transient mean? That means you're friends with people with whom you do things with. I'm in math class, so I got math buddies. I play on the baseball team, so I got baseball pals. I play cricket, so I got cricket friends. I don't know what you do. The point being, your friends are more based on proximity rather than choice. So, a great friend isn't just your friend based on the circumstances that align you guys. A great friend is your friend no matter how the circumstances change, no matter what is said about you, what rumors come down the pipe. They're your friend no matter what. If you move houses, they're still with you. If you get dropped from the AB classes and you move to academic, they're still your friend. If you get cut from the team, they're still your friend. Do you hear what I'm saying here? I get it. you guys are going through teenage life is nothing more than transitions. And you want a friend that is rocking with you no matter the transitions that happen to you. You guys got me back there? I want you to get this too. You need a friend that's going to rock you through transitions. You guys look like buddies. I hope you guys rock together through the transition, straight up. Middle school right now, we'll see what happens in high school. I hope you guys still rock with each other. I'm going to Seven Lakes House, you're going to Tompkins High School. Are you still friends? Or were we just friends because we went to Beckendorf together? Choose your circle wisely. Your friendships should remain stable despite the circumstances that happen in your life. You guys are thinking, man, Nick's fiery today. He's calling people out in the audience. What's going on? Yeah, it's a new age, baby. What do you think this is? It's God's word we're talking about. Let's lock in. Let's get to number 3. Number 3, a great friend does keep you accountable. Everybody say accountable. Proverbs 27:5-6. An open rebuke is better than hidden love. Try not to laugh at this. Wounds from a sincere friend are better than many kisses from an enemy. Some of you might be saying, well, maybe. What do I mean by that? What is this verse talking about? Let me explain. An open rebuke is something that someone does when they keep it 100% with you at all times. When they won't tolerate fake, Andrew Cole, you got me? When they won't tolerate a sense of just lip service or like, oh, like, yeah, sure looks cool. No, when someone is real with you, that makes them a great friend. A great friend doesn't let another friend fall off. They keep you accountable. If you miss church, they text you. If you're acting out of pocket, they'll let you know that. If you're operating in sin, they will surely notify you that you're not acting in accordance with how you decided as a Christian that you should act. That's what a great friend does. And for you, as a person who should be a great friend, should always be working to keep people accountable in your life. Are you that friend? Are you so afraid of hurting your friend's feelings that you will not do the best thing for them, which is to check them on their stuff? If you're sitting by someone in the road today, you should never be afraid to let them know, hey man, I haven't seen you at church in 3 weeks. I would love for you to come back this week. You should never be afraid to do that. Hey man, I noticed that you've been talking crazy. You've been cussing at lunch table. You've been doing this. You've been doing X, Y, Z. Let's get that under wraps. You guys got me back there? You hear me, right? I'm just trying to keep you accountable. Let's get to point number 4. Number 4 is this. I would listen to this one. A real friend, a great friend, number 4, doesn't gossip behind your back. A great friend doesn't gossip behind your back. Proverbs 16:8 says, it's better to have little with godliness than to be rich and dishonest. Someone who gossips, all it says about them is that they are insecure about themselves and jealous of the individual that they're talking about. If you gossip, all it says about you is that you're insecure of yourself and jealous of the person that you are slandering. That's all it says. So my question to you, why would you consider someone a friend if they're willing to talk about you behind your back? Someone who's insecure? No, I don't. Someone who's jealous of me? I don't. Why would I want that? Why would I want someone like that in my circle? Let's go back to my story. My friend Nick knew everything about me. Why? Because he was my friend. I shared with him everything. Every mistake, every difficulty, every setback that I ever had. He had plenty of ammo to go out there and harm me if he wanted to do a lot of damage in my life. But you know what would happen if people approached him about me? Nothing but love. I'm not willing to entertain this conversation. If people approach me about him, it's nothing but love. I'm not willing to entertain this conversation. That's how your friends should be about you. You should feel safe enough to go to them, to chat with them about everything that is going on in your life. If you don't feel that way, if you can't feel like you can be safe, open, and vulnerable and 100% with somebody without them going behind your back and slandering you, that's not a friend. That's someone you need to distance yourself from. So, point blank, if you are gossiping about someone that you consider to be in your circle, stop. If someone is gossiping about you, send them straight to Pal Island, over there to acquaintance land. They don't need to be in your circle anymore. It probably means your circle's a little big. This one's for free. You guys feel like you need to be friends with everybody. Newsflash, no you don't. You can have tons of acquaintances, tons of pals and teammates. Keep your circle small if you want to. to me, that increases the odds that I'm not going to get hurt by somebody. 3, 4 friends, 1, 2, 3, 4 friends, maybe is all you need. You don't need a whole crew. Just some people you can trust. Some people you can count on. I see a lot of y'all in the room. You have people you can count on. Sitting by them right now. You don't need more. Focus on them. Trust them. Number 5, most important one, is this. A great friend does keep their faith a priority. A great friend does keep their faith a priority. Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. Everybody say iron. Iron. Someone can't sharpen you if they're not saved themselves. Someone can't sharpen you if they're not saved themselves. Cole, I want you to get this. This is important. What do I mean by that? I'm not saying that you can't have Christian pals, acquaintances, people that you play ball with, people you hang out with, play the video game with, all that stuff. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying, when it comes to your close friends, people who you consider in your inner circle, that person needs to be a Christian. You can't just have a whole group of people that don't believe in Jesus Christ as people who are giving you advice, keeping you accountable. You're counting on them not to talk bad about you. You're counting on them to check you. That's not going to work. Have your group, sure, hang out. I want you to be open-minded, hang out with people with different beliefs and whatever. Absolutely, sure, don't distance yourself from them. But when it comes to your great friends, when it comes to somebody that you're tethered to, that you count on, that person needs to be a believer. Why? Because someone who is not a Christian can't possibly grasp at the base level of why you do what you do if you're a Christian. Why don't you cuss? Why don't you have sex before marriage? Why don't you watch pornography? Why don't you act that way? Why don't you treat your parents with disrespect? Why don't you do these things? If someone who's not a Christian can't grasp that at the basic level, so therefore they can't keep you accountable on those things and help you in your walk with Jesus Christ, which is the whole point of us having relationships on earth in the first place. So your friend, that great friend that you have, needs to be somebody who makes their faith a priority, that they come to church, they go to small group, they read their word, they live for Jesus because they understand one thing. If you're listening, clap once. They understand one thing, which is this. Please get me right here. They understand that Jesus came and died for them on that cross, and as a result of him dying for us on this cross, that they live for him. That they make their faith a priority. Speaking of Jesus, Jesus in the scriptures is called friend of sinners. What sinners? What do you mean? People like us, people who make mistakes, who mess up, who do the things that we don't want to do and don't do the things that we ought to do. He's our friend and he wants a relationship with us and he loves us. No matter the mistakes that you made, you may have walked in here carrying tons of things. I might have said, does keep your faith a priority? Nick, what are you talking about? I don't know if I have faith. I'm not even 100% sure that I know Jesus. I'm not even 100% sure that I'll go to heaven when I die. You can be sure tonight. You can start a relationship with God tonight. Let's bow our heads across.